and welcome to Smash Writing. As you can see, I'm all alone, which means we can skip the normal introductions and get straight into the movie review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, MCU's latest movie. I was really looking forward to seeing this movie going in. I really liked the first Doctor Strange. I liked the world setting they set up. I really liked the trippy CGI scenes and the mind-bending stuff they did. I was really looking forward to see more of that, especially since I did really enjoy all of Benedict Cumberbatch's cameos and roles he played in other movies like Thor Ragnarok and the Avenger movies, and the latest with him in Spider-Man. So this movie coming out was really hyped for it, especially adding in Sam Raimi, who's really wanted to see what he was going to do in this role. I really like his Spider-Man movies, but for me he's much more into the horror movies and the monster movies, Evil Dead stuff he did. So I really wanted to see just how far they were going to let him go in these movies. And I really had a treat with this one, especially. I keep saying especially. I really had a treat going in because I went in almost blind. I think I watched one trailer and I could not remember anything I'd seen in the trailer. I managed to avoid all the advertisements, all of the YouTube, all the trailers that pop up on YouTube and everything. I somehow managed to avoid all of it, so I got to go in completely blind. Now that I've done it, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, pause this, come back later. Alright, now you had your warning. Alright, let's jump into what the movie's all about. The movie's synopsis. This is what happens when I'm here by myself. But the movie kicks off in a way with America Chavez and a separate Doctor Strange running through this weird dimension with a book in the middle. They're being chased by a demon. And when they get cut off, the Doctor Strange tries to suck the power out of America Chavez, which would kill her for the greater good. And just before he can finish, she gets killed by the demon. And in her panic of being caught by the demon, she opens a portal, and the three of them, the demon, her, and the dead Doctor Strange, gets sucked into the world we know, and we see our Doctor Strange wake up. And this was all a nightmare for him. And he goes to a wedding with Christine, who had moved on in the 5 years that he'd been gone. And he tells her he's happy, and you can tell he's lying. But before he has to, be called out on it, he gets distracted by something going on in the streets, and he goes down there, and it's another demon and America Chavez. And we get Wong brought into the movie here, and he has a great little fight sequence with the demon, this giant tentacle monster. And they manage to save America, and she tries to run off, but they catch her real quick, and she explains to him that she has the power to jump from multiverse to multiverse to multiverse. And she backs up the claim by showing him the dead body of the Doctor Strange she had to dream of. And he realizes the runes on the body and the runes from the demon, so he goes to see Scarlet Witch. And he finds out that it's her. She's the one who's sending the demons and trying to capture America. She wants to absorb America's powers and go to the universe to be with her sons. And she pretty much tells him, you're going to hand her over. And if you do it, if you willingly hand her over, she will send him to a universe where he can be with Christine. If not, it's not going to be Wanda coming, it's going to be the Scarlet Witch. He goes to the temple, and he warns them, and they try to defend. And she shows up, and she's like, last chance, I'm playing fair. And they decline, so she easily breaks through their defenses and wipes out the defense. And just before she can get her hands on America opens another portal, and her and Strange get sucked into it. And they appear in another universe, but just because they're in another universe doesn't mean they're safe from Scarlet Witch, who's holding the Book of the Darkhold and can get to them even there. And that is where I'll leave the story for the time being. I really love so many elements in this movie. I loved the fact that it's pretty much a Doctor Strange movie. It's him trying to save this girl, and they're trying to keep her away from Scarlet Witch and trying to deal with this threat. It feels really contained on itself. The horror elements were amazing. I love just how far Sam Raimi got to play in this movie. From the scene of Scarlet demonically coming through this puddle kind of deal, and when the Illuminati is in this, and when she wipes them out, She does it in a brutal, disturbing, bloody fashion. It's not too gory. They show you some deaths, like Black Bolt's head imploding on itself was, oh, that was chef's kiss amazing. And you, like, when she's fighting Peggy Carter, she throws the shield at her, and you don't see the impale, but you see the aftermaths on the shield and the blood spurt, and it's just a nice little touch to let your imagination run on what just happened. And then you get the even more horror scene of the blood splattered Scarlet Witch chasing Strange, Christine, and America through these underwater tunnels kind of deal, and she is just horrifying, and it was amazing. Then you get some more goofy funness out of it too, with him fighting the evil Supreme Strange, I believe he's called, with these musical notes back and forth, and it was just a fun little great CGI scene. It looked amazing. It worked perfectly. And then the end of Supreme Strange going out the window and getting impaled on the spiked fence outside. Nice, more horror themes, better all around. I don't think this is something they should do all the time. I think the horror themes fit this story and the narrative, and that's always so important. Is like, don't just have blood and guts, and not really guts, but blood and brutal deaths to have them, but make it so the narrative makes sense and it works together, and it worked all perfectly throughout this movie. Let's talk about the cameos next, because this seems to be divisive. A lot of people don't like them versus a lot of people who love them. I'm on the side who really loves them, and I'll tell you why for a few reasons. I think part of it had to do with the fact that I avoided most of the spoilers. I knew the Illuminati would be there, I just didn't know who would be sitting on the Illuminati, because I only know them a little bit from the comics. So seeing John Krasinski playing Mr. Fantastic got a huge ovation from the crowd I was in, especially. They loved seeing him. They popped harder for him than Xavier. Now, from what I heard, Xavier was shown in the trailer. I just didn't remember, but that could have been the reason why there was such a difference. But they loved seeing Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. It was fan service, which is always nice, which is something you want to do in a multiverse movie. That's the whole, for me anyways, that's the enjoyment of seeing a multiverse like this, where you see beloved characters for the first time, where you see them in different roles and different thought processes. Especially, that draws me to like the Spider-Gwen world of the comics, is you get to see how things play out differently in other universes. So seeing other multiverses is always a fun time for me. And as fan servicey as it was, he really did a great job. Like Sam goes, I hear you wanted these characters. Here they are. Enjoy them. I'm killing them in another moment. So have fun with them while they last. And that was, to me, that was a great back and forth. They give you something, then they immediately take that away from you. And it worked perfectly for me. Now, casting was perfect. I thought everyone worked really nice. You got, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, and Benedict Wong, people they brought over from the first one, and obviously Strange, Christine, and Wong. They all had a lot more to do. Not so much Christine, but Christine still did have a fun role to play when she was playing her alternate version, and she was still trying to help them while at the same time being suspicious of Strange. And but the three I really want to, no, not the three, the two I really want to put focus on is Elizabeth Olsen, who killed it. She stole the show in this movie. It was she played an emotion-filled character, with the fact that Scarlet Witch has lost everything at this point. She's lost her brother. Her childhood was a nightmare, and then you get it to where she lost vision, and she had these kids, but they were made up on her world. But she learns in other universes they're alive and real, and she is steadfast in determination to get this. Like, the Darkhold has taken possession of her, and she just wants this. She knows that with this power she can get the one thing she wants and the one thing she can have. And she is willing to do anything to get it. She's going to kill America. She'll kill her alternate self. She's going to kill anyone who gets in her way of this goal. And as emotional filled as that is, she played it with a steady calmness. And it was a matter-of-fact manner of speaking, which I really enjoy from a villain. And she's it's not going to be Wanda you're going to have to deal with. It's going to be the Scarlet Witch. And at this point, I've been playing fair, and the way she's just driving these lines home was just, oh, that is like a terrifying coldness and the threat of what will come. And they made her, they showed how much powerful she is than anyone else around her. And she really got to flex and just go wild. And it built to a really nice finale of where she has to face it. And this is what you'll have to do. Look at these people that you're going to have to affect, and it hit her all at once on how far from the rails she's gotten. And it really made the self-sacrifice, kind of. I don't think she's gone yet. If you don't see a body, don't believe they're gone. And she just did so well throughout. And the other one is if you watch the 90s action movie list, you know I'm bad with names. I believe her name is Xochitl Gomez, who played America Chavez. I really liked what they did here with her character. And they didn't do a whole lot, but they laid down a foundation for this character to grow from here. And as long as they keep letting this character grow and prosper, when there's a really nice emotional payoff when she can reunite with her two moms. And it's all planted in this movie. Now, the one thing I do really want from this character is I want to see the team up with her and Kate Bishop. The West Coast Avenger fan in me, I know that you got the Young Avengers, and that's fine too. You can work that in there too. But the West Coast Avenger fan in me is like, oh, can we get that? Can we get her and Kate Bishop and Kid Omega and Gwenpool? I'll take that, like 4-part miniseries. I'm there. I'm sold. This movie, though, was a lot of fun. Round off with the mid-credit scene. Obviously, it's Clea. I don't know much about this character, but at the end you see Dr. Strange get his third eye, where Supreme Strange said messing with this is going to have a backlash, and you got the third eye. And for me, this can go in so many different ways. He could just be riding the high of his power, where he's like, yeah, I got this under control. I got it, and got it. But then he realizes, like, oh, he doesn't got it, and he's pulling around a tornado or a great white or whatever you phrase you'd like to go with. And it goes all bad on him. And that is so exciting, is that we don't know where it's going, but I'm here for every moment of the ride. I would strongly suggest checking this out on the big screen. This movie gets an A+. That's been me from Smash Writing. Have a good day. Bye-bye.